And we are here. This is Hard in the Paint basketball, actually formerly known as Beyond the Arc. Made a little mistake there, but I am missing the past. I am Brandon Graham alongside Joe Furfari, and today we will break down everything within the summer of free agent signing in the NBA, as well as Canada versus Jamaica coming up soon tonight and on the 10th. There's a lot going on, obviously. We see just having the Oval Bounce tournament last week, a lot for Canadian basketball. Canadian basketball is growing immensely and will continue to grow with all the talent coming in, all the homegrown talent going off to the States and actually dominating. So today we'll get into that as well as preview everything in the world of basketball itself. How are you doing, Joe?
Pretty good. Ready to talk some ball?
Joey Big A, ready to talk some ball. Of course, I'm always ready to talk some ball. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad to be back and whatnot. But today, let's talk first about signings in the NBA. Greg Oden getting signed to the Miami Heat. I don't know how to perceive it. I don't know exactly what to say about it, but I will say that Pat Riley and the entire crew have got some major balls. Major balls to sign him with those bad knees and sign pretty much him and LeBron going back looking like I'm not gonna go on what they look like, but I just
him
don't
and
know.
LeBron look like brothers.
They necessarily do. That's exactly right. You hear that, people? That's exactly right. But at the same time, signing him for a guy that may not even be the seventh guy off the bench, playing behind Chris Bosh, the Birdman coming back, even Joel Anthony. I can see him probably getting more minutes than Greg Oden himself. I don't know how to perceive it. I don't know what was going on in their mind, but I know for a fact that Miami always have a backup plan to what they do. They know what exactly they're getting themselves into, and I'm pretty sure they'll go forward with it. They'll follow through, and I'm pretty sure LeBron is invited to the signing.
This is a low risk, high reward for Miami Heat. You get a guy who went first overall in that draft, and sure, his knees are pretty much not there anymore. But if he can provide any kind of minutes, even if it's 12 minutes a game, play a quarter, back up, this is a guy that people were talking about being a great defensive force in the paint. And then that would, get rid of Chris Anderson, or at least minimize his minutes. And this is a guy that was pretty skilled offensively too. Not great, but if they can get any points in the paint, from him, then you have to think that that's just a bonus to add more scoring power and inside presence to that team.
But do you trust him? Being out of the league for the past 3 years or so.
You can't trust him. But at the same time, you're talking about Pat Riley and all these guys. What player in the NBA doesn't want to go to Miami Heat? Everybody's chasing rings. So you're getting Greg Oden, a guy who was first overall pick, who's great, a 7-footer, 260, strong, all that, on a minimum contract. There's no risk there on a minimum contract. He's making $500,000, $600,000. How that can't go wrong. If he doesn't play a game the whole season, it doesn't really matter.
For a guy that actually was featured in Sports Illustrated as the next Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or the next big time Lou Alcindor, anything, I don't know if. I guess Coach Spo believes that he can actually step into the lineup and provide a spark. Because remember, his footwork was really good back in the day. His footwork has still been really good. I just don't know defensively if he's going to be able to match up with, say, like a Tyson Chandler. Anyone in the East itself. Even not even saying Andre Blatcher, but Lopez. Just him coming in, I pretty much eliminating the minutes that Chris Anderson has right now. I don't know. I want to know how long it's going to be. It's almost like comparing Mark Sanchez to Geno Smith. How long do you expect Geno Smith to take Mark Sanchez's spot as a starting quarterback? You don't know when to put him in. You don't know when it's going to be ready. I just think they got to wait it out. It's a long season once again. But once again, they don't really need him. There's LeBron at the end of the day. There's Dwayne Wade at the end of the day. It's not a big deal.
And this is a team that played Chris Bosh at the center for a good
quite a
portion of the season.
When he got
in the
manhandled.
Right? He got manhandled, but they still won games.
Yeah.
And you got to think in the East, especially with Dwight Howard, he left last year. Yeah. There's not very many good centers in the East. You have Brook Lopez, who's probably top center.
Andrew Bynum coming back.
Andrew Bynum. That's another guy. Are his knees, is his body going to hold up? Nobody knows.
To be honest, I feel more safe with Andrew Bynum 10 times over than I would feel with Greg Oden. Because at any time on the court, his knees can slip, his knees can buckle. You never know. He hasn't played the game in such a long time. I personally thought that Greg Oden was finished. There's no way of him coming back. There's no way of his recuperating. His entire therapy, it wasn't going well, apparently, according to sources. Waj on Twitter and whatnot actually stated that. But with this happening, it'll be really interesting. I'm just really looking forward to the season and seeing exactly where they're going to fit him in, which position obviously he's playing the center position, but how they would utilize him in the post and whatnot, or even if they're going to feed him the ball. because I trust Andrew Bynum a lot more than I would with Greg Oden. That's not even a question with me.
Andrew Bynum's probably the best center in the league when healthy.
I would do with
offensively, anyways. I think offensively, him and Brook Lopez, I think, are in a league of their own. I can't really think of anybody else who's as skilled as those two.
Are you forgetting the man that actually just got signed to the Houston Rockets? Are you forgetting someone?
I love Dwight Howard. I used to, anyways. But offensively, he doesn't do it for me. He's put in work and all that. Defensively, he's the best center in the league.
Oh, for
without
sure.
a doubt. Offensively,
but he can easily put up big numbers on any given night. And you know for a fact he's done it in the past.
He can, but you watch Andrew Bynum operate down low back when he was healthy. His back to the basket, all of his spins, his up and unders. He's skilled. He's a skilled center.
Yeah, he's a really skilled center. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to knock Andrew Bynum in this game, but you can't go wrong with Dwight Howard. Like, Dwight Howard in the post, he's a lot faster, he's a lot more versatile than Andrew Bynum. But the argument can be made that Andrew Bynum is a lot better.
Another argument that can be made is all three of those guys have had serious injury problems.
They have.
Dwight Howard just got that 6 years or 5 years, whatever it was.
Yeah.
We knew he wasn't the same last year with all those back problems. We'll see how he
as well as all the pressure in LA. Like, there's nothing. There's honestly in the NBA right now, I don't feel nothing is positive. Nothing has me. I thought we were on TV right now with Bob McCown, but at the same time, nothing has me at the point where I can say I'm looking forward to this guy doing well. I think this guy is going to do a lot better than, say, another player. Like, LeBron at this point is the best player in the league, and that's bar none. But at the same time, there's no center that I can say has a good competition. There's no center that I can say, against this man, he will come out on top every given night, because it's so unpredictable these days. The injuries, along with the pace of the game, everything going on. It's
and
a lot.
The grind your body takes, and the guys are playing heavy minutes now. You see coaches trying to monitor. Remember Valanciunas last year? His minutes went up. He got hurt. It was his finger, but you play a lot of minutes, things will go.
You're right,
especially on a young guy, you have to try your best to just take care of these players.
Quickly on Valanciunas, I think he's the one bright spot in this team, on the Raptors.
Without a doubt.
Like, the one bright spot.
Without a doubt. I really, really wanted the Raptors to take this season off, as they have for the past 4 years, but they've screwed that up, and now it's too late. There's too many teams that threw in the towel already.
Yeah, exactly.
So now with the one player you will actually want to come, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Let's talk a little bit about the Canadian basketball in general. Canada going up against Jamaica tonight, actually at 7 o'clock. We have Tristan Thompson. We have Corey Joseph, Micah Bongo, Brady Heslip, Andy Rollins, actually, sorry. And a bunch of other talented guys. Carl English, a lot of veteran players going up against Dylan Ennis, the brother of Tyler Ennis, who's actually going to play with Syracuse this year and hopefully even start for Syracuse. Them going up against Donardo Samuels on the Jamaican team, as well as, most nobly, Roy Hibbert. I want you to ask you, what are you looking forward to in this game, and what do you think Canada can build on from a competition like this?
Well, with Bennett out and with Wiggins not playing, obviously, it's going to be interesting to see the other guys, their maturation and their development. And we saw with Corey Joseph when he came in the league with the Spurs a couple years ago, how raw he was. And with their coaching and their system, and you saw how much in the playoffs, how much
of an impact he actually had.
Popovich had a lot of faith in him. He gave him some pretty serious minutes at the end. And I think that his development is going to be crucial for Team Canada going forward, because they need strong guard play. They have some bigs. Tristan Thompson's going to get better. Bennett's going to be there. And even at center, there's not much
depth. At center, you
have to put Thompson.
There's Andrew Nicholson as well. I forgot to mention Andrew Nicholson is actually a really good player as well coming up. He's showed the spark. He showed actually a lot of Jay Tirano actually said that he was probably the most impressive player actually playing in this entire.
And I remember when he got drafted, people were talking about him being a sleeper, and he's a really skilled guy. So even if you look at that way, you put him at the 4, he's 6'9" with a long wingspan.
The center.
Yeah, he's injured too. But that just shows you they have a lot of depth when they're healthy.
This
is a team that when they are healthy and 3-4 years when all these guys have developed, this is going to be a legitimate possible superpower in the FIBA rankings.
Isn't that crazy to say?
It is crazy.
Canadian team actually that happening.
It sounds good to say.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good. Honestly, this is the one thing over the past 5 to 6 years I've been looking forward to this, and now it's blowing up on Twitter, just everywhere itself. That Canadian basketball is actually at the point where we can actually be excited
and
proud, and just look forward to something that's positive in our future. But coming up next, we will talk a little bit about the Raptors as well as everything else going on in the NBA itself. I'm Brandon Graham, and we're stepping out right now beyond the arc.